Alright, hey guys, hey again, this is Sprouts. Um, Once again, yeah, I'm sorry that we've been on hiatus again. Um, in the weeks that we don't actually have anything going on or that it seems like we're missing, I'm just going to do what I'm going to call some quick cooks, where hopefully there'll be types of things that you can cook under 10 minutes. It'll just be like a snack, or it could actually turn into a meal. So what I'm actually going to do is make just, I don't actually have a recipe for this because this is kind of my recipe, but I'm actually going to make a vegetarian chili. Obviously, you're going to make your chili however you feel like you want to make it, but this is my base, and you can add more chili, you can add more meat, you can add whatever you want. So I'm not going to go over the ingredients, I'm just going to kind of go as I go. But what I just did, I had about maybe a tablespoon of olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, which is what I normally use, but I didn't have any, so whatever. I have basically a pound of boca crumbles that I'm going to put in there. Let me make sure that my burner's on, because that's usually an indication that pisses me off. Sorry. So I'm going to get that going. It's kind of a recipe where you just kind of toss everything in and let it simmer. And that's kind of what I'm going to do, is toss everything in and let it simmer. So I'm just going to get this coated with the olive oil. I need to go get my garlic powder. Okay. I like to add a little bit of garlic powder, maybe about let's say a quarter of a teaspoon. I'm also going to add garlic as well, so don't think that that's going to get away from us. Put a little bit of garlic in here. It's about a tablespoon. And I know some people probably don't use garlic in their chili, but I am. Okay, now you can kind of hear it sizzling. Get it all kind of tossed around. I did a lot of the prep work ahead of hand. These are 2 jalapeno peppers, just coarsely chopped. I roasted them ahead of time. If you've never roasted peppers before, you just lay them directly on your burner. Make sure that they're black on all sides. And then you use a paper towel or a regular towel to get the black part off. The reason why you roast them basically is to make sure that they kind of sweat on the inside and release a lot of their oils. Usually I take all the seeds out because I know that the seeds are kind of one of the hotter parts of the pepper. So you can leave them in if you want to kind of kick it up a notch or whatever, but that's kind of my secret, I guess, also when it comes to making my salsa, which will probably also be one of my quick cooks. So all you guys that always want to know what my recipe is for that salsa that I make for you, I'll let you know that so you can make it in the comfort of your own house. It's probably not going to taste exactly the same because it's not made by me, but at least you'll kind of know what I normally do. So I just got that going on a little bit. I'm going to put in, I have a half a cup of water here, just so that the boca doesn't stick. All of the ingredients, once again, are low sodium. So this is a whole package of McCormick's chili seasoning. I have a small yellow onion. And I mean, you could probably do the onion first if you wanted to get it sauteed or whatever, but it's all going to be simmering for at least 5 to 10 minutes anyway, so I mean, it's really no need to go ahead and saute ahead of time. You might say, wow, that's a lot of onion you got there. But like I said, everything's going to simmer down and all the flavors are meld together. Once again, like I said, you can go ahead and add it and subtract anyways. If you don't want a whole onion, you don't have to put it in there. But I use a whole onion, coarsely chopped. This is a 14.5 ounce can of Mexican stewed tomatoes. Make sure you recycle. This is a 15-ounce can of black beans. I just drained them. I didn't actually rinse them. So if you want to rinse your black beans, you can. But for some reason, I like to have that a little juice from the black beans left over. You could probably reduce your heat down to about medium. And then I have a 15.25 can of dark red kidney beans. These are also low sodium. All of them are reduced sodium. So I'm kind of trying to just make sure that you guys know that you don't have to add salt to your dishes in order to make them have flavor. The way that you flavor dishes is basically by the spices that you add. So that's another thing that kind of keeps me as a vegetarian. A lot of people say, well, I can't give up my meat. I can't do this and this with meat. Because I was raised on meat. And, you know, I was raised on meat as well, but I think people don't actually notice that they don't actually like the flavor of meat itself. They like what you flavor it with, i.e. barbecue sauce, or, like I said, the spices that you flavor it with, or if you bake it or you broil it. It's not the actual flavor, like eating a piece of beef or chicken with nothing on it. And some people do like it, and that's great, but it's the same thing with vegetarian cooking. I mean, a lot of the things probably don't have a lot of flavor until you actually season them. So that's where our chili seasoning comes from, and all the other flavors that are in here will meld together, whereas you won't actually think that it's bland. A lot of people think that vegetarian cooking is bland because it doesn't, you know, have meat in it, or it doesn't have flavor. But I mean, you could probably, I wish you could smell it, but you know, it already smells like it has flavor in it. And it's not just from the chili powder, it's from everything kind of melding together right now. So I like to add a little bit more chili powder just for an extra kick. See if I have any, because if I don't, then I won't be able to give it an extra notch. But I decided not to go ahead and add like a habanero or something like that, because I'm not really into having a huge amount of a very, very spicy chili. But you know, like I said, you'll make it to your own taste. I actually also added a little bit of cinnamon too. You can add cumin as well if you'd like. But once again, like I used on the potato pancake recipe, cumin can come off as very, very strong if you don't use it in moderation. So basically that's it. Everything's in here together, and I mean, you can see it's got a lot of texture in here, and you can see a lot of the juices. If it looks too dry, go ahead and add a little bit of water, and it'll kind of soak it up. And don't just leave it on here. I mean, I'm going to take the heat way down, almost down to low, but don't just leave it on here. You have to come and stir it every once in a while to make sure that things are breaking down okay, it's not burning on the bottom, etc. I also kind of like to pulverize the tomatoes a little bit too, to kind of help them break down, but it'll break down by itself anyway on the heat. So you just cover it up, and I would say simmer it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you'll have chili. I like to serve it with, I'm not I'm not actually trying to, you know, represent a company or anything, but I like Mission tortilla strips. I just like the way that they scoop. Some people like to use the Tostitos ones where you can scoop, but Mission Tostitos, or tortilla strips seem to be my favorite with my salsa and with my chili. So you can serve it however you want. You can probably even serve this like in an actual soft flour tortilla, but you know, to each his own. So I know that was kind of a quick recipe, and that's kind of what I was going for. Let me get a little zoom in here so that you can see. Hopefully I'm not getting bad lighting. But there you go, vegetarian chili.